Hello everybody and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I will show you how to download for free data from OpenStreetMap. In order to do this, first of all, I'm going to give you some information regarding this tool. OpenStreetMap is a free community driven project that creates a editable map of the world. It's kind of saying that it's similar to the Wikipedia for geographic data. This site provides just special data that anybody can use, modify, and also distribute under the Open Database license. It contains many datasets including roads, railways, cafes, buildings, hospitals, rivers, and etc. Okay, in order to show you how this website look like, first of all, I'm gonna go to my browser, search for OpenStreetMap. This is the website, official website that we can search inside. It's globally covered all part of the world with different infrastructure, as you can see from here. However, in order to download data from this website, I'm gonna use another website. The name is Fabric. In order to download from this website, again, I'm gonna open new tab, search for GeoFabric and click. You will find this website here, like this, geofabric.dev. Click on that. The language is German. You need to change it to English one from the upper part of the website. In order to download data from this website, from data, click on that. We have an options called downloads. Again, click on that. At the first part of the website, there's a paragraph and it's saying our download server at this website. Click on that again. By opening this website, this part of the website, you can see here a map. And so we have subregions here. If you click, for example, for African continent, you can see that on the map also it's highlighted. Again, if you do it for Asia, it's gonna do the same thing for Europe as well. Okay, since I'm going to select one of the region in Europe, I'm gonna click on Europe here. Again, you can see it's highlighted in map. In Europe, we have different sub-regions for different countries, as you can see. We have a quick links here. It's showing OSM.b PBF and also SHP format. Since I'm going to use vector file here, I'm going to download them too. At the bottom of website, we can see a special subregions, for example, for Alps, Britain and Ireland, and so on. Also, you can download data for these subregions. However, the shapefile for these areas are not available. Choose one of the countries in Europe if you are interested. For example, I'm going to choose Luxembourg. In order to download data, you need to click on this part, shp.zip. By clicking on that, it's going to open a new folder for you and you need to define your output. For example, I'm defining an output in my desktop. For this, I'm saying OSM, and inside that, I save my downloaded data for Luxembourg. As you can see, the data has downloaded successfully. Right now, I'm gonna go to the folder that I saved my data. The data is in a zip file. In order to extract from zip file, you need to use WinRAR software. I'm gonna do this. Inside this data, source of data, we have bunch of data, for example, buildings, that all of them are in a shapefile: buildings, land use, places, railways, and etc. I'm gonna work with most of them one by one. Right now, I need to open data into my geospatial data software such as QGIS, or if you are interested, you can open them in your ArcGIS. For example, I'm gonna use QGIS here. After opening your QGIS, it's easy to click on Open Data Source from here. Since the data that we are going to call is vector, I'm gonna put on vector. From source, I'm gonna go to the folder that I saved my data from browse, desktop, OSM, extracted file, and you can import your data that with the SHP. Okay, right now I want to import building. Click on that and use add in order to do this. By using add, we can see that my dataset imported into QGIS environment. If I zoom in, for example, to this part, these are the buildings data downloaded from OpenStreetMap. We have the other data that I'm going to show you by clicking again on Open Data Source, Vector, and from Browse. Again, I'm going to go to the same folder, this time for example, railways. Pay attention to choose the data with SHP format. Okay, add again. We can see our railways inside the study area. From here, we can change their color. If you are interested, by right click from properties, from symbology, click on simple line. If you are interested, from color, we can change them to, for example, to red one. And also it's possible to increase its thickness if you are interested. For example, 1. Again, click on apply. Okay, right now I'm gonna do the same thing for buildings. If you are interested, properties, symbology, simple fill. From fill color, we can change them to, for example, this color. Okay, very good. And also we have a attribute table for all of these data. If you're interested, right click on the data and open attribute table. As you can see here, we have different types of buildings. For example, warehouse, school, apartments, retails, commercial areas, again public areas, civil, house, and etc. If you want to choose one of them, it's easy to click on this like this, and it's going to be selected inside your study area. Okay, very good. I'm going to open it again. Open attribute table. There's nothing to be important here for this. I'm going to close that one. The same thing for this. If you are interested in seeing different types of railways, open attribute tables, and we have here bridge, tunnels, and also the name of these railways. Here also we have a class of rails that there are professional things that urban planners can think about this and also give us a lot of information. Okay, since the study area that I'm using is too big, I'm gonna limit my study area to a small area. In order to do this in QGIS environment, it's easy to define a new shapefile. New shapefile layer is here. As the file name, you can say area of interest, AOI. Geocoding, we leave them in default. As the geometry type, this is the important one. Since I'm going to use polygon in order to do this, I choose this one. If you are interested, for example, in defining an area with point or polyline, you can choose these options. However, I'm going to use polygon. Pay attention that your additional here, your coordinate system is the same as showing in the QGIS environment. From this part, as you can see, it's 4326 and 4326. Here you can define a name for your field, for example, area, and that's it. Click on OK. It's created. However, in order to draw an area, we need to use this part. No, in order to define an area of interest, it's easy to use toggle editing by clicking on that, and other options at polygon, it's going to be available for you. Click on that. Whenever you are interested, start to draw your study area. For example, I'm going to use this part. Okay, that's it. When you finished, it's easy to right click, and that's it. If you are interested, you can enter an ID. Otherwise, click on that. We created our area of interest. From here you can see. In order to change the color, right click, and from symbology, simple fills. Symbol layer type, I'm gonna use the outline. I want to have outline for my study area, not fill it inside. You can change the color. For example, if you are interested, you can increase the thicknesses and apply. This is my area of interest. Right now, I want to clip this area from my main data sets in order to have a limited area for my study area. For example, in order to do this, you can use vector analysis tools. We have different options here: geoprocessing tools, geometry, research tools, and data management tools. In order to clip data or buffer or other tools, you can use this option, geoprocessing tools. Clip. As the input layer, I'm gonna clip my railways into small areas. As the overlay layer, as I said before, I'm gonna use AOI that I created before. Okay, if you are interested, you can define an output for your result. Otherwise, you can leave them in default. Okay, click on run. As you can see, it's completed. Right now, I'm deselecting the other layers, and I have just one layers as the railways that is limited to my created study area. Okay, very good. In this tutorial, I showed you how to download for free data from OpenStreetMap. I highlighted geofabrics that you can download your data for different parts of the world, and also how you can analyze them inside the QGIS environment. I hope the content of this video will be useful for you, and thank you very much for your attention.